Hello, and welcome to Let's Build a Kingdom, Episode 6, with me, Cort. Looking back, I realized I didn't show you the interior creation of the church, the police station, or the courthouse, so we'll be doing that this episode. So I started it by clearing out the measure markers that I had left inside. And I built a floor. Not exactly rocket science, but still, you gotta think in a straight line, I suppose. That has nothing to do with rocket science. I was planning that what I was going to do is add a layer underneath where the monks could live, the people who run the church. Setting up a nice central focal point for the stage, or whatever that thing's called. And bringing the pillars down that make up the main support section for the tower in the middle. Putting some arches on it too. I decided to put in some confessional type zone. I originally put a door in the middle of the confession area so that potentially a monk or priest could go in from that particular area, but I decided that what I was going to do was I was going to have a trap door on the sides so that they could come up from below where they live, which may seem a little roundabout, but I think it kind of adds some mystery to how this church kind of operates, I guess. It's not that important, just a little thing. I was just changing time of day because I just realized that the sun lines up perfectly with the symbol that I made there. There I am creating the attic space. And creating a way to get up there. What I ended up doing was I created large pillars on either side where the monks would go to sit in the confessional area. There's also ladders there now to climb up to the top. And this is what it looks like up there. Relighting. Adding some support. And a place to live. I figured there'd be one guy, one really ugly guy that they'd leave up here to ring the bell. And of course a way to get up there. And this is below the main area. I actually forgot to turn off the user interface for the recording here, so that's why it's slightly off kilter. I just blew up the video so you guys wouldn't see a giant hand holding a torch. Adding a layer up top to hide the carpet of the top there. And clearing out more space for living zones. A little message popped up there because I didn't turn off the interface. Adding more support pillars? I don't know. And thinking about what I'm going to do. Turning this place into a sort of sleeping space. I figured if anyone knew how to enchant stuff, these guys would. Putting in a little table, nice little communal table for them to eat at. And putting in some rafters, just to make it look a little bit more basement-y. And you know, I just thought of it, I should probably put some spider webs up there. So I will. Probably won't record it though, it's 1 or 2 spider webs. And putting in some support beams to those rafters. Again, all not very necessary, but, you know, it adds that extra little layer of depth that, you know, helps sell the space. Now I'm going to go outside and build the area where you come into this section of the church. Since it wouldn't be good looking to have it out front or inside the church itself, I built it out back, so no one would ever see it. It's a very common trick architects use to basically hide the less appealing sides of the home. I'm just talking out of my butt at this point. Here I've moved on to the police station. And this goes very quickly because there's not much space in there at all. I created a desk for a sergeant or someone to sit and kind of take people's badges. And then downstairs I created a small holding cell. And a place for guards to sleep should they need to. Moving on to the courthouse, another very simple build. Since I very, very quickly realized I didn't have any space to build anything. So what I ended up doing was I just worked with the space that I had, and I had to get rid of the doors on either side of the main door, just to give myself enough space to build this courthouse. Creating a small place for audience and or lawyers to sit, which I suppose informs the way this justice system works, which is probably not very favorable to criminals, I would assume. Moving on to behind the courthouse, I start work on the prison area. Now, I wanted to design it so it was escapable. Not easily, of course, but I wanted to make sure that should you want to use this as an adventure map or a PvP map, that there was a way to get out of here if you were trapped. So right now I'm building the prison yard where prisoners are allowed to run around in circles. Not very accurate to medieval times, I'm sure, but it makes the space more interesting. As I brought the wall there back to the very start of the prison gate, I realized I had to make the walls higher to make it harder to escape from. So the parapets there need to be at least 2 high. Playing around with some decoration with some upside-down stone steps and some stone steps on the roof. I decided to make this area accessible to the guards, potentially. And so I am now testing how easy it is to jump from the wall, from the fence there, up and over the wall. And I'm dropping those, the symbol of justice on the front of the building there. Or I should say the back. I put it on the front too. I was playing around with the idea that prisoners would be escorted to the prison from the direction of, from the side of the courthouse. But then I realized that they were going right past the main gate, and that was probably a security issue. So I moved the only door in and out to the back, or the other side, so that you'd have to go through the bad part of town, which may also be a security hazard, but slightly less of a main gate security hazard. Also adding some cracked stone brick walls, just to make it look a little bit more prison-y. And now just going around and making sure I've got everything set up. Like fixing that stone brick wall. And that makes up the entirety of the build for the outside of the prison. Now moving on into the inside, and I decided to make the interior of the prison, anything below the floor, or the floor and below, I wanted to make it out of nether brick. Just to give it that extra, it's a dungeon feeling. I also decided to create two main spaces, temporary holding, and the main prison block. Have to label where you're going, obviously, so those are out to the prison yard. And there's temporary holding. Put in a small spot to take a piss, and a bench to lie on. That's pretty much it for temporary holding. And for the main prison block, well, that's gonna go down into the earth. So this is the space I hollowed out for it. It was kind of hard to record that way, so I just, I'll show you. This is the result of my clearing out. Now I'm going to make 2 levels, and there's only going to be 1 row of cells on each. And they're not going to be very big. Of course, these upper cells are the luxury prison cells, so they get nice wide open spaces. I'm actually using cauldrons as the toilets for these prison blocks. Whether or not that's a good idea, I'm not sure, but it looks kind of nice. Now I'm creating the stairway down to the 2nd level, and what I wanted to do for the 2nd level was I wanted to make it really dark, really foreboding. This is where you put the bad guys, the really bad guys. So I made I sandwiched a layer of water between the floor above and the ceiling on this floor. So it's constantly dripping water. And it looks really, really just sad. I also made these prisons even smaller than the ones up above. So you basically have to step in your toilet when you get out of bed. Since it was kind of hard to see while building, I decided to show you guys what it looks like. And I got rid of all the lights down here, just to make it extra bad. Oh yeah, I wouldn't want to be down there. So that's it for this episode of Let's Build a Kingdom. I'll get you guys next time. Later.